Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So pop-up again, as I told you, like a pop-up is a like location which will again have only a single screen. So pop-up contains a single screen and returns the user to the previous location once the pop-up is closed. Okay, so whenever the pop you're closing the pop-up, okay, at the point of time, again you will be reverting back to the same location from where you navigated to the pop-up. So now why are we going to use pop-up, or what are the advantages of the Guidewire pop-up than the browser pop-up that you generally get? Okay. So the problem is, if you have noticed, the browser pop-up when it opens in a new browser, not on the browser which you are working, right? So it means that it is creating a new session altogether. Hello, hello.
Oh, sorry, I was in mute. Okay. Yeah, yeah. It will create a new window, new session.
Yeah. So when you're opening it in a new, since it is opening in a new window, there can be a synchronization problem, because let's say you are trying to transfer data from this session to the session which just opened in a new browser. Okay, so there is a synchronization issue which may occur. And then if let's say you are working on the main browser, okay, where it is a main application, and say some portion of it opened in the pop-up, and you are exiting or signing out from the main application, signing out there will not make you automatically sign out from this session or this browser, right? Because this is a totally different session. So there are multiple issues which may happen because of that. Okay, so
Hmm.
because of those issues, what Guidewire did is Guidewire merged that pop-up session within itself,
Hmm.
which means that if you are opening a pop-up, it will open only in the same browser session. It will not open up any new browser for you. Okay.
Okay.
So Guidewire pop-ups, they provide almost all the functionality of a true pop-up window. So all the functionalities that you get in a true pop-up, you'll get the same thing. But it avoid blocking issues and synchronization problems, because it will open in the same browser. You don't have any synchronization. Okay. And because you are, when while signing out, you will sign out also the pop-up because you are on the same browser window. So you don't have any blocking issue also. Okay.
Okay.
And the the only problem with this there is another problem which you may face with browser pop-ups is there are sometimes situations where you have multiple pop-ups open at the same time, right?
Correct, correct. Yes.
Okay, but while if you close the main window, all the pop-ups are not closed. That is one issue where it can be avoided with guided pop-ups, because you can open one pop-up at a time.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what does the pop-up provides you? They provide you to view and edit the data. You can create new objects, okay, as well as you can search for objects.
Hmm.
So for example, like I have a driver window, okay, so where I am clicking on the driver's name, and then it takes me to the driver summary where I have all the details of the driver, and then I can edit the data for the driver. Okay, so
Okay.
that is one way scenario where I can use a pop-up, right? Or like I'm there are multiple drivers, okay, and I want to search for one driver. So I will
Okay.
just go enter the name of the driver and search for the driver. Okay, and then once the driver names pops up, I will select it. So we'll see all of it. Okay, so these are few conditions. Else, just like we edited the driver's details, I can also create a pop-up where the user will go and create a new driver and add it. Okay, so these
Okay.
are various scenarios where you can use pop-up. So this creation of pop-up is decided based on a requirement. You have to decide like whether you have to go for a pop-up or you need to create a link or something. Okay, like if let's say on the flow, in there is certain flow, wizard flow. Okay, and in that
Hmm.
wizard flow you want to edit something, so obviously in that case I will create a pop-up, because I cannot go back or I cannot go to any other location. The only location I can go to is a pop-up, right?
Yeah, yes.
So obviously in that case I'll go and create a pop-up. So this for the pop-up creation, you will have to decide it on the flow. Like once you get the requirement, at that point you have to decide whether you have to create a pop-up or a page. Okay. But mostly pop-ups are the only like location which are mostly created instead of pages. Okay, because pop-ups can be created in a flow of an application. Pages are initially decided already
Mm.
because okay, what pop-up can enter at any point of time? Like let's say while using the user says like, okay, why should I navigate to that particular drop down and do the change, or that particular section of the application and do the change? Why cannot I click here and go to some screen and do that? Then it's like, okay, if the user wants that kind of a change, we'll add a pop-up there.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you see, we'll go to the application. Now see here, V1 edit button is there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So when I'm clicking on that, I'm opening a pop-up
Okay.
where I can give a reason, okay, give a resolution, and these two fields are non-editable, so this will auto-populate or something, whatever the code will be, okay. So this is how it will work, basically the pop-up. So this one I'm using to edit an existing location.
Okay.
Then if I update, I'll return back to the location where I came from. If I cancel it, same thing will happen. Even if I'll click on the return to summary, the same thing will happen, okay.
Okay.
Now how to create new objects. Now I have a list view. Okay, if you remember,
Mm.
if you create a list view, so in a list view you have an add button.
Okay.
Okay, in the iterator buttons you have add and remove. So you added an iterator button. In that there is an add button. So when you click on that add, what we used previously was object dot add to. Okay, add to particular entity name, and we are passing the object which we want to add inside the array. Okay, the array of
Yeah. Yes.
right.
Okay.
So now that we were doing because okay, let's say the list view had 2 or 3 fields, so I wanted to add the object directly in the list view. Okay, because when we created, we had the requirement like the user had to enter the evaluation date, evaluator, and total score. That's it. Okay. Now actually when we received the requirement, we found that okay, there are so many fields. Now
Mm.
all these fields are not displayable on the list view. My list view only has evaluation date, evaluator, and total score. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, this is here evaluation date, the evaluator, and at the end there's total score. So these are the three things that are required on the list view. But all these details are required to create the data. So how am
Okay.
I going to achieve this? Now there are two ways of doing this. One, either I'll create a list detail view, if you remember.
Mm.
Okay, so I'll select this list and then this below detail view will appear too. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Or I
Okay.
can create a list or I can create a pop-up. Okay, and refer the detail view to that pop-up so that whenever I click on add, this pop-up will open where the user will update the data and click on OK so that the new object is created. Okay,
Okay.
now
Okay.
with the list data, so these are the two ways of doing it. Okay,
Mm.
so
Mm.
now that depends on what you need to create. Now since already this is a card view, okay, so again inside a card view, creating a list detail view within which there will be another card will create a lot of confusion for any user from the user perspective, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you have to decide, like, okay, since already with the UI so much complex, better is we create a pop-up so that it will be easier for the user to understand. Like every time he clicks on add, he'll come here, update it, and obviously the object will get, once created, it will automatically get added in the list view. Okay.
Okay.
And then there are scenarios where you search for objects. Okay, like I want to search for an industry code, I want to search for an organization. Okay, so in such cases, so I'll go here, I enter the search code. Okay, clicked on search, the number came, and I clicked on select, and the number got selected and filled in the text box. Okay, so this whole thing is called as a search box, which comes with a combination of a text box and a search button. Okay.
Okay.
So let's create a pop-up. How to create a pop-up? So
Page configuration.
here we go. File, paste, pop-up. And I'm selecting a pop-up. Okay. So now I've created a test new pop-up. So which is asking for a title first. Title. So what should be the title? So I'm saying, let's say edit bank account. So I'm just removing the edit portion first. Okay. I'm just giving bank account, which will be the heading. Still it is asking for an error, so which means it needs to be our child screen or a child screen reference, any of these either. So since we don't have any screen, we will add a screen so since we didn't have any screen, so I'm not adding a screen reference and referring the screen, I'm directly adding the screen here. Now inside the screen, I'll add a toolbar. Okay, and I'll give can edit as true. uh, and it didn't got updated. Yes. And inside this, I'll add a panel reference now. And in this panel reference, I'm giving, so I added a screen. Inside that, I have a panel reference. For this panel reference, I'm adding a toolbar. So either I can add a toolbar at the screen level or the panel reference level. Okay. So anyway,
Okay.
okay. And then, now since I'll be having only one detail view, I can add either a place, but let's keep it at the screen level. Okay. And now I'm just calling the blank details with bank account. Now, what is bank account? Bank account is the variable which needs to be first. Bank account, which is a
Bank account.
type entity. Sorry. Okay. Bank account.
Account
Sorry.
entity.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Now half of our work is done. But the problem is now we need to give this pop-up entry point, or else what are you going to call? Okay. Now what will happen? We don't have an entry point. So let's say Now we need to go to this interaction screen. So I'm removing this page currently. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
delete. Detail view. We have already a bank details. Here we were calling the page. In
Mm.
the case of that, now we will call the pop-up.
Mm.
Paste
Okay.
new pop-up dot. Now dot go will not work on pop-up because
Bank.
we have a push command.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now if you see here, if I don't have an entry point, still it is working. It is not showing me an error message.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Mm.
but what will happen now? If I'm clicking on push, nothing will happen because it will open, but it will not display any data. So let's check what is going to happen here. Go to if you see.
Interaction.
Okay, nothing happened. It
Mm.
was just display the data, but
The pop-up came.
because
Mm.
no, yeah, the pop-up came, everything was
Mm.
okay, even without the entry point.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Clear. So, which means that by default, even if you are not applying an entry point, okay, by default, a dot push or a dot go exists in the backend. That is a default function. Clear.
Okay. Okay.
So, why do we create an entry point? We create an entry point only when we have to pass an object to that particular screen or particular pop-up. If we don't have to, then we don't need to create a entry point. Clear?
Okay.
Now, this application here. But we need to actually pass a bank account here, right?
Yeah, yes. Bank account we have to object we have to pass.
So, in AB contact dot now the problem would be okay. 1 minute. So I'm just removing this because there are multiple bank accounts. So we cannot use it in a
Mm.
detail view. We have to just change it into a list view. So directly creating a list view here. List view, rows, and then add a link cell. Okay.
Okay.
Now here I'm renaming this element name as bank account. Editability is false. The value type is okay.
Okay.
Now in this link cell we need to add okay. So they have actually removed removed it from this link cell. Fine. We'll just then instead of the link cell, add a link button then. Okay. So instead of a link cell, I'm adding a button cell because I've removed this action function from that link cell now. Okay.
Okay.
So because I need to use that to call the pop-up, right?
Yeah.
So in the ID, I'm using, let's say this one is account ID something. Okay. Bank account, then bank account dot bank account dot bank name, and clicking on this one, what it should do here is not till now it is not clickable. Okay, until and unless
Okay.
you add an action. Okay, now
Okay.
I'll just show you what will happen gently.
Okay.
No, so see here.
Bank name is not coming.
No, it is not displaying the name.
Mm.
That is
Visible to we have to mention.
I thought like it should display the name here. To check this. Okay, so just call this and check what is happening. Okay, now it came. Hello.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's came.
Okay, so click here and you can go here.
Uh,
Okay,
why that bank
actually,
account?
mhm. Actually I should first null here. Okay,
Okay.
then it should have came actually.
Okay. So we should not put any
Uh,
pop-up name. Not push.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's what it was asking. A null action. Okay,
Mm.
but anyways, we don't need a null action, right? So obviously we'll use a button because
Mm.
that without an action value is a button. Okay, let me
Okay.
show you because previously what is happening is by default it used to take null in the action. Okay. So, so now, so I'm passing a pop-up, but we don't need to pass a pop-up. We need to pass a bank account, right?
Mm.
So now, since we haven't declared any entry point with bank account, that's why it is showing an error. So we'll create an entry point here.
Okay.
We'll create an entry locations, which we will call test new
This new pop-up.
pop-up, the name, and then what is the variable that we have created? Bank account,
Bank account.
which is of type bank
Bank
account.
account entity.
Okay. Now you can also have a blank like this,
Okay.
but having this is not uh, mm, doesn't make any sense. But you can also have it like this, a signature like this. Okay, but this is by default is there. Okay, already a default is there in the backend.
Okay.
Now it's showing some error message. What is the error? Location entry point is no pop-up must match location ID test. Also, this
That new pop-up.
no, spelling is wrong. Okay, so now let's check it here. Not referring to this signature. Why this is not generated?
Variable we have added there. Variables we need to add the already we have added.
One minute. No, variable we have added. I'm just checking. No, right. And then why it is not picking up? It's not generating that code. So I'm trying to create some errors so that still. We see here it is not. Pub.cs. Okay, we'll stop this. Actually, it is not generating the PCF classes. To stop and
Mm.
restart again. Yeah. Because previously, actually, I don't know why they removed that button. There was a previously called a regenerate button here for PCF also. They used to have it. Now they only have it for entity. They removed if that button totally in 9. Now they are providing it for only for entities in 10. I don't know why they're not provided for PCF. Well, that is to help good because sometimes it gets stuck like this, right? So we used to click that, it will regenerate those classes again. Okay, so we'll just see the slides till then. Create a PCF interface one. We enter our signature. Okay, we did till this. Now we click on this. So you go here, you see the bank name. Okay,
Okay.
now
Okay.
along with that, you see one more thing. There is an edit button here
Mm.
because we added an edit button on the screen, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So now clicking on this edit, I am now able to edit this value.
Okay.
Instead of this Acme Credit Union, if let's say I will change it to Acme Credit Green, something random. Okay, just I'll update it now.
Sometimes it's happening right after restarting the server.
Hmm?
After restarting the server, the GS will be generated properly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, no. But the thing is like what happens whenever you do a PCS change, right?
Mm.
The IDE will help in automatically regenerating the classes. Okay,
Yes.
okay. There are some specific running classes which will be generated every time you do some change, because based on the framework that is
Okay.
synced with the ID. Okay,
Mm.
so the ID will always be like it's like a thread loop which will be running in the backend.
Okay.
Now, what happens because it's a synchronized thread, right? Obviously, synchronization has a lot of issues. So sometimes what happens because the computer like you lagged or something that breaks. Once that breaks, that goes into a deadlock, so nothing will happen for you. Okay. So because of
Mm.
that, there was a button previously which used to re-trigger it. Okay, so reset it kind of. So that whatever PCF uh, changes you did and it was not generated, it will regenerate again. So you don't have to restart the server. Okay, but here that issue is that so that's why you have to stop the server and again restart the server.
Okay.
Okay, there are some issues where you have to also even restart the server will not work. You have to close the studio, restart the studio itself altogether. Okay,
Okay.
sometimes it also happens like that. So those are like you know not like those defects. Okay, random issues. Everything is fine, still that kind of thing. Okay,
Okay.
so now the change happened. So go to analysis, you come back here, you can see the change has happened here. You go to details, financial summary, sorry, bank accounts, you can see. So it has also changed to the DB. Okay.
Okay.
Now, now let's say there are certain scenarios. Now here what happened when I went to the screen. After that, I have to click on this edit button, right?
Mm.
But now let's say there is a requirement where it says like no, you have to go. Once you go there, as soon as you go to the pop-up, it should be in editable mode. So in that case, you go to the pop-up and just set start in edit mode is false, right? Make it true.
Oh, true. Okay. Mm.
Once you make it true, what will happen is interactions details now already started in edit mode. Okay,
Okay.
so
So
just
just
have to
it's
click on
showing updated again. Okay.
yeah, just have to click on update. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
then so then we have one more that is so just like we updated, right? Similarly,
Yeah.
when you click on that add button, okay, in the add button you just have to give your pop-up. It will go there.
Mm.
Once you add that object, the object will be created. But once the object is created, how will now this change happened because we are doing a change on an existing object.
Mm.
We are just passing the object, and in the pop-up we are making the change. Okay, which means that the object is already there, and we are just changing the data in that object. But when we will create a new object in a pop-up, okay, then we have to return that object back to the state from where we moved into the pop-up, right?
Mm.
For example, right, let's say class A already has an object and I want to pass that object to class B. Okay, so I'll just call the function. In the function I'll pass the object, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
And whatever the change I'll do in the function, automatically it will change in class A. But
Okay. Mm.
let's say I want to create a function in class B, sorry, object in class B, and I want to use that object in class A. How will I do that? In that case, I'll use a return.
Mm.
So I'll return that object to class A and then only I can use it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
whenever you create a new object in a pop-up, okay, then in that case, you have an option called as return type. Well, you have to return that object back to the page or the screen from where you navigated to the pop-up. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
See here. So you clicked on add, which creates a new object called as vendor evaluation. Okay. So this pop-up is different from this pop-up. Clear? Because when you click, while clicking on add, it is calling to a pop-up which will create a new object. And when you click on the name, it is calling to a pop-up which is just displaying an object. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So both of these things are doing like both of these pop-up are the same, doing two different things. One, it is creating an object. The other, it is just displaying an object.
Viewing. Okay. Mm.
Okay.
Initial value.
I'll tell you that thing. I'm just searching where, like what example it has used. Evaluation date, evaluator, like where that is. Vendor evaluation. Let's search if that is something existing so that we'll use it here. Just deleting this. I'll use list view input. Vendor evaluation detail view. What it is passing here is the vendor evaluation. But what is the vendor evaluation? Let's check it here. Okay, here it is. So this is now if you see there is an error. Okay, the error is because we don't have a toolbar. So you'll have a toolbar. And in the toolbar, we are going to add iterator buttons. Now we are going to call in the iterator buttons the name vendor evaluation lv dot uh, in the script. So this is how we had created previously the hello.
Yeah,
So this is how we had created the uh, list view buttons previously, right? Last time, if you remember,
yeah. This iterative.
the list view input in here the detail
Mm,
view. So inside that I used a list view input in because it's a detail view, right? So that's why
mm,
inside a detail view I had to use a list view input, and then I referred to an existing vendor evaluation list view, and I passed the unhappy contact object to that, gave the level vendor evaluation. Then I made level above true, or else it would have appeared on the right side, right? And then
mm.
I added the add and remove buttons at the iterator to the list view. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now what will this add and remove buttons do? that we will decide here. So when we come here, we go to the row iterator. In the row iterator, if you see what this is doing is it is calling an AV contract add to vendor evaluations, and to remove is calling an AV contract that remove vendor
Mm.
evaluations. Okay, and
Okay.
rest is normal, right? But now I want to this change. What will this do is so we'll see what is happening and what will happen. So I'll just reload it. Both interactions, and this is what is happening currently. Okay. Now we are not seeing the add and remove. Why? Because we don't have any buttons on the screen. So we need to have
They
a
are not added.
toolbar at the screen level first. Toolbar with edit buttons so that I can edit the screen. Okay, edit, and now I have the add button. If I click on add, it is now opening with the pop-up.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
now how is that happening? Go to the list view and here you have it. Okay, the pick location. So from where you want the value to be picked. Okay,
Okay.
so whenever you click on the add button, it will first check what is the pick location that you have provided. If your pick location is blank, then it will add a row under the list view. That is, it will create an object. Okay, but once it has created an object, if the pick location is blank, it will create a list view below the whatever the list view is row is there. Okay, else
Okay.
it will call the whatever the pick location that you have. So whenever you call a pop-up, you
Mm.
add the pop-up in the
Pick
pick
location.
location. Okay. Now once you
Okay.
have added in the pick location, I am passing here true
Mm-hmm.
because whatever the object that I clicked, okay, that object is getting. I am creating a new object. If let's say I have to open the existing object like this one,
Mm.
okay, so in that case I'll have to pass the object.
Okay.
Here I want to return the object, like I told you in the example, right, in the class example which I explained you. So here, so that's the
Yeah.
reason why I don't have to do that. So we'll create an evaluator. So
Okay.
let's say the evaluator is it a string or numeric? I don't know. We'll have to see the slide actually. Evaluator, okay. We just have to give some names,
String.
right?
Yeah.
Like say Eric Andy. The evaluation date is today's date, and some score I'm giving like 10 each. 10, 10, 10, 10. So 40, and let's say 30. The last
Mm.
one. Pricing 30. So 60. Some comments like testing or object one. And I'm clicking on OK. Oh, approved. Yes, okay,
0
20.
to 25. Okay.
Okay, 20. Okay. Now that one created my this object, but I'm seeing only three. Now when I click on this object, okay,
Mm.
so then it is opening me the object which I had created. So how that is happening? That is happening if we will go here to the code and I'll see in the row, if you see here, here it is calling vendor evaluation pop-up at first, current vendor evaluation, and either the location is in edit mode or not. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
from
you are telling that when we are clicking that object persists, you are talking about this action, right?
yes. So this is for
Okay.
editing. Okay. So wherever you click, it will go here.
Okay.
Okay. And clicking here on the add button, it will create you a new object. Okay. Clicking
Okay.
here, you're navigating with the existing object. How that is happening? Because here you're passing the existing object, that the current object you are working on,
Mm.
and since here you're creating a new object, that's why you're passing blank or passing true.
Mm.
Okay, and if you don't pass true, you just pass a blank, same thing will happen. Okay, so true, why are you passing? Because you mostly you'll be using this true as to use it in edit mode. Okay, to open in edit mode.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's say I'm passing true here. I'll catch this as a variable.
Mm.
See here. Should start in edit mode. That's why it is passing true. And that's what it is using in the entry point. One is this and should start in edit mode. The other one is should start in edit mode. So this one is what you are calling when you are creating an object. This one you are calling when you are editing an object.
Okay.
Okay. Since you are editing, you need to pass which object you are editing and whether it should start in edit mode or not. This
Yeah.
one, since you're creating an object, don't need to pass anything because you're creating it. Now, once you have created an object, how is it getting returned, or how the list view is knowing that a new object is created? Okay, that happens with the return type. Now, once you have created an object, when you click on OK, okay,
Mm.
you are returning this vendor evaluation object which you created, and then
Okay.
this
Okay.
object the list view will use to add it in its list.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is return type you'll use to return the value back to the object from where you
To
created it.
add.
Clear?
Okay. Okay. Clear. Got it.
You got it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it.
So initially had no object, you created add and a new object got created. So it is just you can go through this new object configuration summary. Okay, why, how its behavior. Everything I've actually told you. You can also go through this one. Now I think there is one more thing which I have to say. Is this one. A vendor evaluation, and this initial value, new vendor evaluation. Now why this is getting used, or why you have to use here. So the thing is, now vendor evaluation when you are calling this object, okay, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't has a state, okay, initial state.
Okay.
So to create an initial state, because what happens is whenever an AB contact object is created, okay, so AB contact is your
Okay.
primary class. So whenever that object is created, whatever the properties that are associated with an AB contact get created along with it. For example, like if I'm extending from a base class, when I
Mm.
am creating an object for a child class, automatically, sorry, a parent class, whatever the related objects are there with a child and everything will automatically get created, right?
Mm.
But if there is some other class which is not related to that, okay, which is in the association of the project, but it is not related to that, in that kind of a scenario, you have to create the object for that, okay, or else you'll get a null pointer exception.
Yeah, you tell me again.
So, for example, like let's say when we are passing an AV contact,
Mm.
okay. So what happens is initially when we are creating, when you are accessing here in the application from the contact here itself, an AB contact object gets created, that new. So after that we
Mm.
start passing it,
Mm.
and whatever the object entities that are related with it, we use it, right?
Okay.
We
Okay. Mm.
continue using it.
Mm.
But where there are few entities which needs to be declared, okay, or the object needs to be created for that entity, or else how are you going to use it? For example, like there is a class B, but you cannot access class B directly. With you have to create an object for class B, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that is why. So here, when you are clicking on new, we are creating a new object, right? You are not working on an existing object. Till now, what we have done is we have worked on existing objects. This Eric Andy, it is already existing, and we are working on that
Mm.
object. Okay, but when you want to create a new object,
Mm.
what is the keyword that you use? New, right?
New that. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So you got it. So here we are using
Okay.
new. Where did it go? And then here we are using new because we are creating a new object.
New object. Okay.
Okay, because if you would have used that existing object, then I would have passed only this a vendor evaluation from that particular list view to here, and I would have edit that object, right? But when I'm coming here and I'm asking this pop-up to create a new object, okay, how will it create without using a new keyword?
Mm.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So here in the first scenario, we are passing the object and evaluation. So that's why even if it has an object, new object created, this one will get overridden by the object that I have passed.
Okay.
And in the second case, obviously I'm just passing the boolean. So I'm not passing the object. So that's why it is using this fresh new object.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So whenever
Yeah.
you okay, so whenever you create an object, okay, you go for a create operation, you always use the new keyword, or else you'll get a null
Okay.
pointer exception. Okay.
Mm.
So next time whenever you see a null pointer exception in Guidewire, right?
Mm.
The first thing you should strike is somewhere you are not calling an object, or somewhere the object is not getting created. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So.
Because it's a lot of people they waste time just for the simple issue because they forget like okay, because maximum of the time you will be editing existing stuff, and then suddenly you'll be seeing a
Mm.
null pointer exception. Now, why I'm getting a null pointer exception? This that. Nothing. Simple thing. That's simple Java. Okay. If you're using, which means you have not created an object and you are calling that object.